Welcome to the Rise of the Trades podcast, the show dedicated to helping you to build, grow, and scale your trades or construction business. All rise for your host, Craig Wilkinson.
Welcome to this week's coaching episode of the Rise of the Trades podcast, where we help trades and construction business owners to skyrocket leads, explode net profits without having to graft 60 hours a week and becoming that busy fool. In this episode, I'm going to be teaching you how to build an automated marketing and sales funnel that's going to generate you leads coming into your trades or construction business whilst you are sleeping. And not only that, it's going to save you an incredible amount of time because all this is done automatically. But before we go there, I'd just like to make a big announcement. And that is our partner, LeadZilla, which is an AI marketing and sales platform dedicated for trades businesses, is launching a brand new community and training hub later this week. So when you get to the end of this episode, if you feel as though you want to build this funnel out and get all the help, all the support, and dedicated training to be able to do this, please consider clicking the link in the show notes and the description of this episode and going and setting up your 14-day free trial. Because not only inside LeadZilla are you going to get a community of other trades business owners that are using it and sharing how they're using it to grow their business, but you're also going to get a 24-hour help desk where you're going to get instant access to get all your questions answered by a LeadZilla member of their tech team. You're also going to get pre-recorded videos on how to set up and use LeadZilla. And on top of that, every week you're going to get live done with you training and live Q&As from their tech team where you can join them live on Zoom, and they're going to be teaching you how to use all of the powerful features inside LeadZilla. So start your 14-day free trial now. Let's transition over to this week's coaching episode. You know, at the Trades Freedom Club, we're at the forefront of all the most cutting-edge marketing and sales technology that there is, hands down. And I'm sure by now you've heard of me for a number of years talking about the new way of marketing a trades business. And one of the most powerful new ways of marketing a trades business is by building an automated marketing and sales funnel that's going to generate your leads without you doing a great deal of work. And I'm sure, even if you're a member of our free Trades Freedom Club Facebook group and community, or a member of our Growth Club or Inner Circle, you've heard or seen people saying, what is a marketing and sales funnel? I get the gist of it and I sort of understand it, but I don't get what all the moving components of a funnel is, and I certainly don't know where to start when it comes to building a funnel. So in this first chapter, what we're going to be covering is what is a funnel and how does it work, so you can fully understand the mechanism and how it all comes together, and then see the value in how important it is that you have a number of these funnels put into your business. And not only that, it's about the time it's going to save you. Because for many people doing marketing in particular, a lot of this marketing you're having to do manually. And you know what it's like when you're creating content and you're posting content or adding content onto your website or whatever you're doing. That takes a hell of a lot of time that most business owners haven't got. And then the sales side of it, it's the exact same with the sales side of it. The process that you go through from a sales point of view is the same process for every single customer. So why can't we automate that and make sure that instead of doing things every single time the same with every single customer and just repeating the tasks and repeating the process, why can't we pick that process up, put it into a system that does it all for us? So you build it once and it runs forever. So that's what we're going to be covering off in this chapter. So grab your notepads, pens and tablets, and let's get stuck in. The first thing I want you to think about is the word funnel. And just like a funnel where you're going to, let's say, top the windscreen wash up on your van or put some solution into your radiator, ideally you use a funnel. If you're anything like me, you've not got a funnel to hand. So what I used to do is I'd go and get a Coke bottle or a lemonade bottle, cut top off and use that as a funnel. Anyway, the point I'm making is, in a funnel, you've got a wide spout at the top and a narrow spout at the bottom. And we put the narrow spout in the bottom into something that's going to generate us the benefit, the win or the result. In this case, we're going to top up our windscreen wash. So we're going to stick that in. And then what we do is in the top of the funnel, we pour all that water in. It goes through the funnel and then filters down at the bottom and puts that into your windscreen wash, allowing you to not spill and have any spillage of the solution that you're putting in. Well, a funnel, when it comes to marketing and sales, works in the exact same way. And there are 3 parts to this funnel that I'm going to walk you through, because when we start pouring things into the top of our funnel, in our case, it's going to be leads that we're going to pour into the top of that funnel. As the leads go through the funnel is designed to do certain things. And it's these 3 stages and these 3 parts of the funnel that I'm going to start off by explaining so you fully understand what the funnel is and how it works. So if you were to draw, let's say, a funnel out, and then you draw 2 horizontal lines in that funnel, technically you've split the funnel into 3, haven't you? And step number 1, right at the very top of this funnel, at the widest point, step number 1 is where you're going to pour all of your leads and inquiries into the top of that funnel, right? So in other words, all your leads from, let's say, your website, your landing pages, your paid ads, your social media, your leaflet drops, your magazine articles, your checker trade, wherever you're marketing and advertising. In a funnel, you're going to drive all of the traffic to the top of that funnel, and you're just going to pour all of them leads into the top, which is step number 1. But what we've got to remember is, all of them leads that we're just pouring randomly into the top of that funnel, we've got no idea how many of them are warm leads or cold leads, how many of them are what I call pre-sold and ready to buy, or time wasters and tire kickers. And the challenge with most businesses is you're spending a lot of time and effort looking at jobs, quoting jobs and pricing jobs, sending that proposal, quote or estimate off to that customer. And then what happens is you get ghosted. And the reason why you're getting ghosted is because that customer is what I call a time waster or a tire kicker. In other words, you should have never have devoted any of your valuable time to that customer in the first place, because they were a time waster and they were a tire kicker. Now remember, at this point in step 1, we've got no idea who these people are. So the idea behind the marketing side of the funnel is, 1, it attracts people into the top of your funnel. But 2, as they start to filter down through the funnel and the funnel's getting narrower, they're going to hit the middle of the funnel, which is step number 2. And at step number 2, there are specific things that we need this funnel to start to do. 1 is identify and wean out any of those time wasters or those tire kickers. We've got to get rid of them in the middle of the funnel. We can't afford for them to drop to step 3, which is popping out of the bottom of the spout at the bottom. We can't afford for them to drop out of there. The funnel, as they're going through it, has to get rid of time wasters and tire kickers. Number 2, what it's designed to do. It's designed to nurture that relationship between you and that potential customer. In other words, in that nurture, you've got to build up rapport. You've got to get people to know you. You've got to get people to like you. You've got to get people to trust you. You've got to get people to build confidence that you can solve the problem that they've got. And how we do that is we do that by nurturing them and educating them on our business. So in step number 2, we must include and introduce what I call vetting forms. You might hear them called pre-qualification forms, but listen, let's just get straight to the point. We need to vet these time wasters out, don't we? So in step number 2, as they're dropping through the funnel, they have to hit a vetting form or a vetting process somewhere along the lines to either let them pass through it into stage 3, or we stop them in stage 2, we identify that they are a time waster and therefore they exit the funnel and we do not deal with those people. At the same time as nurturing and educating people via emails, text messages, WhatsApp, videos, etc., which can all be done automatically within the funnel. Now, anybody that passes the vetting stage and who've gone through the nurture stage, they will drop into the final part of this funnel, which is step number 3. And in step number 3, this is the spout at the bottom where they're going to drop out, and that's the result, that's the benefit. And the only people that need to be dropping out of that funnel are pre-qualified leads, pre-qualified customers. And the funnel is going to do that for you. It will pre-qualify everyone at the same time as marketing to them on that nurture sequence to educate them on you and your business. Are you with me? But what we've also got to bear in mind in this funnel are 2 things that your potential customers are now expecting and are now experiencing by working with other businesses or other companies that are making you look bad, that's making your sales process and how you currently deal with your leads coming in look really amateurish. And what I mean by that is this. Your customers aren't comparing your business any longer just to the experience that they're getting from your competitors. No. They're not doing that. They're not comparing you like for like anymore with your competition. You see, what they're comparing you to now is the experience and the customer journey that they are now getting from the likes of Amazon or Argos. In the fact that they can sit on their backsides at any time throughout the day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they can purchase something online. And then the day later, or even in Argos's case, same day, they can have whatever they've had ordered delivered to their home without them even lifting their backside off that sofa. And what we've got to bear in mind here with the way in which the world is moving and how fast it's moving is when your customers are experiencing that level of communication and delivery of customer journey and experience, they're now comparing that to you. In the fact that, why does it take some tradesmen and women days and days to get back to a customer with a quote? I mean, come on, let's face it. Sometimes you're busy and you don't even answer your own flipping phone. There's times where people ring you and it just clicks to voicemail. Or somebody will send you a message and you don't get back to them because you're busy. Or someone sends you an email, but you're that busy, it takes you 3 days to get back to them. Are you with me? It's unacceptable in today's day and age that any trades or construction business should be offering a really long, drawn-out, winded process. Because in today's day and age, when we've got apps and we've got software and we've got AI that can instantly do all this for you whilst you're sleeping, what's your excuse? So we've got to understand now that our customers are expecting these two things. Write these two words down. Number one, they're expecting speed. Everybody's impatient. You are a consumer yourself. You purchase things and you don't want to wait. You want things yesterday. You want things now. You're doing this yourself. And your customers are exactly the same. Because you can get something delivered same day off Argos, that is speed. That is what customers are now experiencing and therefore need from a trades or construction business. Gone are the days where it's like standard practice. Oh, I need to get a joiner, plumber, electrician. I can never get hold of one. They never respond. They come out and look at a job and then they don't give me a quote, or else I'm always chasing them. If that's what's going off right now in your business, you are miles behind. So number one, they want speed. They want things now. They don't want to wait, and neither do you. Number two, write this word down. Convenience. They want things to be convenient for them. So if they sit down at 11 o'clock on a Saturday evening when you're in bed sleeping and you're relying on either direct messages on Facebook for them to contact you, or you're relying on the old-fashioned bog standard contact us form on your website, for an example, that somebody could fill out at 11 o'clock on a Saturday night, that is not convenient for them, is it? Because now you're in bed on a Saturday night and you don't reopen generally till Monday morning. You've got a life, you've got a weekend. You need to be spending that time with your family and your friends and your loved ones, enjoying life, not working and answering emails at 11 o'clock on a Saturday night. So I get that. But at the same time, your customers don't want that experience. They want it to be convenient. You having a weekend off is what you need to do, but that's not convenient for your potential customer, is it? Because now, if they fill out your contact us form on your website, they now know that they're not going to get a response till probably Monday at the earliest, till you're back in driving seat. And usually Monday mornings are busy, aren't they? You're picking materials up for your next jobs, you're organising your labour, you're sending lads or lasses to whatever jobs you're going to, you're sorting customers out. Maybe one of your team's gone out on a Sunday night and got pissed up, so now Monday morning they've knocked and that throws your diary into chaos, and now you're having to rearrange all your work. So sometimes Mondays are busy days. Now all of a sudden, you're not responding to that inquiry that came in on a Saturday night until Tuesday. Now, that is not convenient, is it, for your customers? And by that time, they've gone somewhere else. So this funnel has also got to bring speed and convenience into it so that the funnel is working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and can communicate with that customer. Customers can get booked into your appointment diary. They're not having to wait for you to manually do everything or wait for you to switch the lights on a Monday. Just like Amazon, it's open 24/7. So does your business in today's day and age. That doesn't mean to say that you've got to work 7 days a week, because the funnel is doing the hard lifting for you. The funnel is going to do everything that I've just shared with you now on autopilot without you doing anything. All you need to do is build the damn funnel in the first place, and then once it's built, it runs forever. And think about it. If you're still relying on things like contact us forms on websites, what's happening here is you're stopping your own sales process. Because until you got the time to deal with that lead, your sales process has ground to a halt. They can't, that customer cannot move to the next part of your sales process if it's relying on you and your time. So you stop your own sales process. In other words, you're putting a barrier or an obstacle in front of that customer because they can't do anything other than fill out a contact us form, and nothing's going to happen until you decide to get back to them. So there might be days where the whole process is ground to an halt. A funnel won't do that. A funnel will take them through the entire sales process whilst you're asleep. Now, I've been building these automated marketing and sales funnels for all my businesses for over 4 years. And I've been teaching these particularly to my inner circle members for 4 years. Now we're introducing this into our Growth Club, and for the last 12 months, our Growth Club members have been learning all about it. So if you're sat there going, flipping heck, I ain't got any of this in my business, I'm telling you now, you're falling behind. And if your customer goes onto your website at 11 o'clock on a Saturday night and you've stopped the sales process by having a boring standard contact us form, but then they go to one of my Growth Club or Inner Circle members' websites or landing pages, let's say, they're not going to stop the sales process. They're going all the way through this sales process without doing anything that is bringing speed and convenience to that particular customer. And when you wow them with an experience like this that they're not really expecting from a trades business, you've already got one foot in front of the door compared to your competitors because of how slick and professional the entire customer journey is. You brought that speed and you brought that convenience to it, and they're thinking, blimey, flipping heck, this is a trades business. This is amazing customer experience. All you've got to do is make sure the price fits, and because you've already vetted them out, and in the vetting process, you've got to bring price into it, which I'll come on to shortly. You know they've got the budget. You know the timescales fit. You've wowed them. You're the first person out of the door and out of the traps to communicate with them. The likelihood is you're going to win the work. Are you with me? So now you understand what a funnel is and how it works. In the next chapter, I'm going to be teaching you the 6 different components or the 6 different elements that we need to pull the funnel together so you can go and build your first funnel. So in this chapter, we're going to be focusing on the 6 different components in the right order that you need to build to make sure that this funnel works like clockwork. But not only am I going to give you the 6 steps, I'm then going to go back and explain in detail what each one of these 6 steps are so you can understand the customer journey and the flow of how the funnel works. Right. So keep making notes, because step number 1 that you're going to go away and build, the first thing is you're going to build a dedicated landing page. Write it down. A landing page. Now, don't worry about what a landing page is yet if you don't know, because I'm going to come back and I'm going to be explaining that. But the first thing you're going to build, number 1, is a landing page. The second thing you're going to build, number 2, is a vetting form, where we're going to put these people through a vetting form to wean out those time wasters, capture the details, and then nurture them and educate them on that customer journey. Step number 3, and the third thing you're going to build, is a survey or an appointment calendar. So we're going to get your customers to automatically book themselves into your calendar. Step number 4, and the fourth thing you're going to build, is what we call a thank you page, an onboarding page, which again, I'll explain. Step number 5, and the 5th thing you're going to build, is an opportunities pipeline inside of LeadZilla, where you're going to see all of the different stages that you need to get your customer down from a lead to a paying customer and then a 5-star review. We're going to build all that out so you can see it in a wanna. And step number 6, and the sixth thing and final thing you're going to build here, is you're going to build out automations that will include emails, text messages, and WhatsApp messages that are going to get automatically triggered at certain parts on that opportunity pipeline. And again, the automations are built inside the software LeadZilla. So that's the flow. They're the 6 things that we need to do and build to allow us to pull this funnel together. So now you know what the 6 steps are and the 6 components you need to build. Let's go back and start at step number 1, which is a landing page. So first off, what actually is a landing page? Well, if you think of a website that no doubt you've got, on a website, you've got all the different services that you offer built on one website. And what I mean by this is, let's say for argument's sake, you are an electrician. On your website, you've probably you do rewires, you do general, electrical work, you do EV chargers, maybe you do solar panels, maybe you do battery storage, maybe you do domestic, maybe you do commercial. There's already 6 or 7 services I've just rattled off then. Now, a website's purpose is to provide the browser that's on that website all the information that they need about your business. And what you're doing is you're hoping and praying that one of those services, in this particular case, an electrician, you're hoping that they find that service on your website. And websites act as, let's say, an online brochure. And it's a brochure about all of your business. So let's say, for argument's sake, you're doing a post about EV charging points and you're putting that out on Facebook or LinkedIn. And you put a website link back to your website because that's where you want to drive traffic to. You want to drive traffic off Facebook and LinkedIn. For anyone that's interested in EV charging points installing, you want to get them back to your website, right? But when they get back to your website homepage, they're not actually finding information out about EV chargers. What they're now doing is they're now distracted by looking at all these different tabs at the top of your website and all these different drop downs and all these different services. Now they're looking at a gallery of works, and now they're looking at your About Us page or your team page. And all of a sudden, it's not convenient and you've not made it crystal clear what it is that you want them to do. You've basically sent them back to a website and now they're confused and they can't find what they're looking for. And there's a 6 to 10 second rule on a website, which means in today's day and age, remember what I said about people want speed and convenience. If you're just sending traffic back to a website, hoping and praying they're going to find the exact thing that customer's looking for, and that potential customer cannot find what they're looking for within 6 to 10 seconds, they're going to bounce. Because you've not made it easy and convenient for them to find what they're looking for. Now, a landing page works completely different. Because what a landing page is just one page with no social media icons on it, so they can't go and check out you on Facebook from that page. There's no tabs at the top with loads of drop downs on. The only thing they can do and find on a landing page is one product or one service only. So in this example, we're saying EV charging points. You would send traffic back to a landing page where the only thing they can do when they land on that page is get information about EV charging points. That's the only thing you're describing and showing and promoting or advertising on that landing page. So now, when you're putting posts out on, let's say, Facebook or LinkedIn, or maybe you're running paid ads for EV chargers, instead of sending them back to your website where they can get lost and distracted with all the other things that you're doing, You don't send them back there. You send them to a dedicated landing page. And on that landing page is, guess what? EV chargers. So the only thing they can do is find out information about what it is that Facebook post were about, or that LinkedIn post, or that paid ad was about. Do you get me? So the conversion goes up because now they're not lost on a website. You've just sent them straight back to what it is that they're interested in and what it is that they're going to inquire about. In this case, EV charging points. So what I want you to consider doing is picking your most popular and most profitable service that you offer and building a landing page that can be built inside LeadZilla. Everything I'm sharing with you now can be built in this one platform. You don't have to be logging into 10 different subscriptions and 10 different platforms to build all this lot out. You just build it in LeadZilla. It builds everything. So you're going to build a landing page inside LeadZilla. And you're going to choose your most popular and profitable service that you offer to start with. Now, long term, what you'd end up doing is, let's say you are that electrician and you do rewires, solar panels and EV charging points. Long term, you'd end up with 3 landing pages. One for solar panels, one for rewires and one for EV charging points. Are you with me? And this way, it's dedicated, laser-targeted marketing. Now, let's move over to component and step number 2. And this is building a vetting form. Building a vetting form. And what's going to happen is, let's rewind. They're going to land on that landing page. And on that landing page, you're going to have what we call call to action buttons. So in other words, you're going to have a series of buttons on that landing page that might say something like, get your free quote, get a fast quote, get an instant quote. And what we're doing is we're wanting to tell people that's landed on that website that they can get a quote. Now, when anybody clicks one of those buttons on that landing page, what that's going to open up there and then is a vetting form page. And what you're going to do on this vetting form page is you're first of all going to be collecting their contact details by asking them, first name, last name, mobile number, email address to start off with. And then once they've put that information in, they're going to click the next button and it's going to take them to the next part of the vetting form. And this next part of the vetting form is where you're going to be asking a series of questions that are relevant to that service that you're offering, in this case, EV charging points. And you're going to be asking a series of questions to extract the information out of them to determine whether they are a time waster or a tire kicker, or in actual fact, whether they are a warm lead or pre-sold, ready to buy customer. So you're going to ask them questions, and then they're going to click next. And then you're going to ask them a question on timescales. In other words, when do you want the job starting? And then you're going to ask them another question around the budget. Because let's face it, what's the point of even dealing or speaking to someone if they haven't got the right budget, or they want things done yesterday, but you're fully booked up for 3 months? There's just no point, is there? Now, inside LeadZilla, you can build the vetting forms. And behind the vetting form, you can put what we call conditional logic behind each question. Which means if they answer a question that doesn't fit your criteria and suggests that they are a time waster, it stops them in the process, sends them a lovely email and text saying, thank you for your inquiry. However, it doesn't look like we're a good fit at this stage, and therefore you might be better off considering another company. But if they do answer all the questions that you set and they go through that, you then know that they are your target market and that they have got the budget and the timescales do fit with yours. Are you with me? Now, again, you don't need to go and build this out in another piece of software. You do all this inside LeadZilla. It does it all for you. But then what we're going to do is build that vetting form that sits on that landing page. So when they hit the landing page, I'm ready to get a free quote. I click it, bang, vetting form pops up. They work their way through the vetting form. It either excludes them and takes them out of the vetting form because they're not right for you, or it lets them go through the vetting form because they are pre-qualified and they are your target market. So component number 3 and step number 3 is now they've been through the vetting form, they now want to be presented with an appointment calendar. Now think about this. Right now, at this stage in your business, you might not be sending them to an automated appointment calendar because when the lead comes in, let's say through your website, you're now relying on yourself to ring that customer back to see if you can get to speak to them. And you might ring them back and miss them. They might ring you back, you might miss them. You might ring them back, they might miss you. And then all of a sudden, you've got this telephone tennis going off because you can't get hold of each other. That is the old school, old-fashioned way, which we've already spoken about. It stops the sales process. But at step number 3, imagine an appointment calendar all branded up, pops up and says, right, select a date and time for your home or site survey. And you set the calendar to the dates and times where you're going to do the surveys. You're not going to be dictated to by the customer saying, oh, can you come out at 9 o'clock at night or can you come out on a Sunday afternoon? No, these are the times, these are the dates where we are going to be doing our surveys and appointments. And this calendar can be populated a week in advance or 12 months in advance. It's up to you. You select everything. You've got that flexibility to do this. So now automatically it's like, wow, I can actually book an appointment. It's 11 o'clock on a Saturday night and I don't have to wait for this tradesperson to ring me back on Monday. I can actually book an appointment with them now. That's speed and convenience, isn't it? That's exactly what we've been talking about. So what do? At step number 3, they select the date and they select the time of when they want that to book the appointment in. And then they click the book button. And what's now happened is that appointment has been booked in to your diary and their diary. And behind the scenes, automation's kicked in, triggering emails, text and WhatsApps off to that customer, confirming that appointment. And then what we do is we set a reminder, maybe 24 hours, or if you chose to, 4 hours, as a gentle reminder to trigger more emails, texts and WhatsApps out of courtesy, just to let that customer know and remind them that you're coming out to do the survey. And that's all done through that appointment calendar. So inside LeadZilla, you're going to build the appointment calendar that allows you to do all of this. Now, once they've gone through the calendar, as soon as they've clicked book, they'll get the email, text and WhatsApp, but then the screen that they're looking at this on, whether it be an iPad or a phone or a laptop or desktop, it swaps out the calendar and then a thank you page pops up. And on that thank you page, it's telling them what's going to happen next. So we've just sent you an email, text and WhatsApp confirming your appointment. And inside that email, text and WhatsApp is a link to a video of me explaining what we're going to do at that survey. So you're telling your customer what's going to happen at the survey, so you're not leaving them second guessing. On that thank you page, you can also put that same video, which could go something like this. Thank you so much for booking your survey with us. We're really delighted that you've chosen XYZ company as one of the quotes that you're going to get. Just to let you know that we've sent you an email, text and a WhatsApp confirming that appointment. And you'll also get a reminder email, text and WhatsApp 24 hours before, just out of courtesy to let you know that we're going to be arriving. Now, you'll know it's us when we attend because we've got an identity badge because we're all DBS checked. The survey will take approximately 45 minutes, during which time we might have to get into the bedroom or the loft or the airing cupboard or whatever it is you need to do. We respect your property, so please don't worry about any mess or anything like that. We'll completely tidy up after ourselves. And once we've done the survey, we'll give you a budget figure, or if you can give them a bang-on figure, there and then. If you wanted to proceed, we can then take a deposit, get you booked in to our installation calendar. But thank you so much. My name's Craig Wilkinson from XYZ Company. We're looking forward to seeing you on your appointment. How professional is that? You're just going to blow your competitors out of water at this point because it's still 11 o'clock on a Saturday night and they're not relying on you stalling the sales process. You're allowing them to continue down the sales process whilst you're asleep. Do you get me? So step number 4, inside LeadZilla, you're going to build a thank you page. And if you feel comfortable in shooting a video, then you put a video on that thank you page. If you're not, no dramas. You just write it up like bullet points. This is what's going to happen next. But you've got to explain to your potential customer what's going to happen next, just to set their minds at rest and to explain what the next part of your sales process is going to be, which helps build rapport. You're nurturing customers. They're getting to know, like, and trust you. You look super professional because your competitors are amateurs and they're not doing this. Do you get me? Now, once they've hit the thank you page, we're going to turn our attention to step number 5 and component number 5, which is you're going to build an opportunities pipeline inside LeadZilla. And what I mean by an opportunities pipeline is this. There are certain tasks or steps or stages that you go through with every single customer. And these steps and stages, if you're not using something like LeadZilla or ServiceMate as an example, a lot of this you'll be doing manually and it'll be all in your head. In other words, how you're running your business is in your head, not in any software. So think about this. Inside LeadZilla, you can build, like, imagine just columns. And each column represents a step that you have got to take that customer down on that journey from a lead coming in to your business to doing the job, getting paid from the job, and that 5-star review and video testimonial being collected at the end of that job. Now, at the minute, if you're all doing this manually, you're spinning lots of plates, and the more customers you have, the more tasks you've got to remember to do. So is there any wonder that sometimes we forget to send a quote? Is there any wonder sometimes we forget to order these materials? Do you get me? Whereas this opportunities pipeline that you're going to build in LeadZilla, once it's built, it does it all automatically for you without you having to do anything. So let me give you an example. Let's say the leads come into your business. I'm pretty sure as a trades business, you would have to do the following, right? Number 1, you've then got to book an appointment to go and see and survey that job. You come back. Number 2, you're going to have to price the job. Number 3, you're going to have to put a quote, estimate or proposal together. Number 4, you're going to have to email or WhatsApp or text that proposal out. Number 5, you've got to follow that quote, estimate and proposal up. Number 6, if they win the job, might have to pay a deposit and sign your terms and conditions. Number 7, you've then got to book the job into your installation or schedule or calendar. Number 8, you've then got to order materials for that job. Number 9, you've then got to organise labour for that job. Number 10, you've then got to have communication between you and the customer leading up to that job with things like start dates. Number 11, throughout that job, you might have interim payments or invoices being raised and paid. Number 12, you're going to get to the end of that job, you need to raise a final invoice. Number 13, you've then got to educate your customer on your referral strategy. Number 14, you've then got to get a 5-star review. Number 15, you've then got to get a video testimonial. I mean, come on, I've just rattled 15 steps that you should be going through in your business. But if each one of them 15 steps you are having to do this manually and you're having to remember in your own head that you've got to do this, and you've got 10 customers on the go at any one time, how are you supposed to remember all them different tasks at the right time to do? Which is why sometimes you forget to send a quote off. You told a customer you'd have it by 3 o'clock on Friday, and then all of a sudden it's Sunday and it's like, oh, I didn't send that quote. Or you forget to order them materials, or you forget to email or text a customer back. That's only natural if you're trying to do all this manually and you're spinning all these plates. But you don't have to worry about any of that inside LeadZilla, because LeadZilla does all that for you and does it all automatic. So once you've built your pipeline with, let's say, those 15 different stages that I've just rattled off to you, once they're built, your business now is out of your head. You're not having to remember where each customer is on that process, because it shows you in your LeadZilla on the dashboard, whether that's desktop, laptop or mobile device in a LeadZilla. You can see where all your customers are, giving you lots of headspace and less stress. Are you with me? So step number 5 is you're going to build out that opportunities pipeline inside LeadZilla. Step number 6, and the final step, is building out those automations. In other words, building out and writing the email, the text or the WhatsApp. You can send just an email, you can send just a text or just a WhatsApp. You can send all 3, the choice is yours, right? But you write out the emails and text messages and they go into LeadZilla. And then you look at it and you go, right, what part of this pipeline do I want that automation to trigger? And you put the automations behind that particular part of the pipeline, which means when a customer gets moved down the next part of your customer journey, your sales process, your pipeline, and they hit a stage where automation needs to trigger, the automation will trigger itself without you writing anything out or remembering to send an email, text or WhatsApp. It does it all for you. And all that lot, again, is built out inside LeadZilla. So let's take the example of stage number 3. And stage number 3 was you're going to build an appointment calendar. And when people put their details into that appointment calendar to select the date and time that they want to choose, and they click submit, that information is then added within like a microsecond onto the right stage of the pipeline in LeadZilla. And in this particular case, it would be customer has booked a home or site survey. And that's what you call that part of the pipeline, right? But we know that when they hit that part of the pipeline, we want automations to trigger, because we need to send an email, text and a WhatsApp to the customer confirming the date and time they've just selected. And we also want to send a reminder email, text and WhatsApp, maybe 24 hours before that appointment is due as a reminder. So this is where those emails, texts and WhatsApps will be sat behind the part of the pipeline that says customers booked a home or site survey. So as LeadZilla automatically moves them to that point, guess what it's going to do? It's going to trigger the email, text and WhatsApp without you having to do anything. Anything. It does it automatically for you. Are you with me? Now, those are the 6 steps and the 6 cogs, if you like, that you need to build in LeadZilla. And once they're built, they run forever. So yeah, it takes a day's work, 2 days' work, however long you think it's going to take you to build it. But when it's built, you've got this running on autopilot forevermore. So if we go back to the example that we've been using in this episode about a customer landing on your landing page at 11 o'clock on a Sunday night, on a Saturday night, whilst you're in bed, they might have seen that post on Facebook or LinkedIn, clicked it, and now at 11 o'clock on a Saturday night, they're on your landing page. The only thing they can consume on that landing page, for this example, was EV charging points. Oh, I want an EV charging point. This is perfect. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Oh, look, I can get a free quote. They click the call to action button, vetting form pops up. And what we're basically saying here is, hang on a minute, we want to make sure that you are a serious customer and not a time waster. So they go through the vetting form, they pass all the checks, and they are actually a potential customer. So at the end of the vetting form, when they click the submit button, bang, what pops up? Calendar. Oh my goodness. It's now 11:05 on a Saturday night and I can actually book a survey in with this company. I wonder if they've got an opportunity or an appointment for me at 10 o'clock on a Wednesday night. No, they're going to click the calendar and they're going to go, these are the appointment times we've got. All right, okay, well, select that one. So it might be Tuesday at 3 o'clock. They select it, click submit. A thank you page pops up with a video of you saying, thank you so much for booking your survey. We're looking forward to seeing you. Here's what happens next. It's like, wow. Wow. And while they're watching that video, guess what's going to happen? The phone's going to ping. The email's going to ping. The WhatsApp's going to ping. And they go, what's that? And they look at the phone and it's like, oh my goodness, they've even confirmed it. And I'm going to get a reminder leading up to it. Wow, these are the boys. I want to work with this company. How professional is this? And all along, what's just happened is, behind the scenes, that customer's details in a split second have been added onto a LeadZilla pipeline to the correct stage. In this case, the home survey or site survey appointment booked, and that's what's triggered the emails. And you're in bed asleep, and then you get up and maybe you do check your emails on a Sunday. I personally don't, and I won't advise you to because you need to be off. But maybe you do. And what LeadZilla's done is it's emailed you, it can text you, and it can even WhatsApp you, the business owner, saying, congratulations, Craig. Just to let you know that a new appointment's been booked in for an EV charging survey on this date at this time. LeadZilla's taking care of all the automation. Good luck. I hope you win the work. I hope you win the job. And you just get up to an inbox full of appointments. How easy is that? How much stress is that going to take out of your life? No more working till 10 o'clock at night anymore. No working weekends to catch up because LeadZilla's doing all the heavy lifting for you. You build it once, it runs forever. So how does this compare to your current marketing and sales process? Because if your competitors which they have, because they're all my Inner Circle and Growth Club members. If your competitors have got this lot built and they'd be able to book an appointment, job done, but then they go, I want to get 2 quotes, so I'll keep trolling internet at midnight, and they come across your website and they go to, I can get a free quote, and it's a bog standard contact us form that just says, thank you for submitting your details. A member of our team will be in contact with you shortly. And then Monday morning comes and you don't ring them because you're busy. And then by the time you ring them up on Tuesday, my Inner Circle and Growth Club members have already been out and priced job and given them a price and got the deposit off them while you're still dicking about. Do you get what I'm saying? Speed and convenience is what customers and clients want in today's day and age. Now, if we go back to what I shared with you at the beginning of this episode, I said to you that LeadZilla, literally this week, are launching a new school platform. And if you're not familiar with a school platform, then our Growth Club members, our Growth Club is built on a platform called School, so you'll fully understand what it is. But inside this school platform, LeadZilla have built a community inside there. And what's happening is, all of the LeadZilla subscribers that are using LeadZilla now, whether they are flying with it and they're building all this out themselves already, or whether they are starting their journey with LeadZilla, or even starting the 14-day free trial and it's all new to you. The whole purpose and point of LeadZilla launching this new school community is, one, so that all the people using it can share what's working for them, what wins they've got, how it's currently helping them grow the business, so that other tradesmen and women can learn from that and inspire them and push on in their own business. So number one, we've got a community. It acts like a Facebook group, but it's built inside this platform called School, right? Number two, every day, Monday to Friday, LeadZilla have now got a dedicated member of their tech team inside that school who's going to be answering all the questions that you might need answering. So, for example, you might say, well, where do I start with building this landing page? And our tech team are going to go, right, you put that post in the community, our tech team come back and respond within 24 hours saying, right, this is what you need to do. And they may even well be sharing Loom videos or some of the pre-recorded courses that are inside there. They'll point you in the right direction of where to get all the knowledge from. So you've got the tech team on standby Monday to Friday to fire questions at to get the answers you need. Number two, inside LeadZilla, they've got pre-recorded content already in there in, let's say, courses. Inside School, the platform, they're called classrooms, but imagine like you want to go and start a course. Inside there, they've already got courses. And guess what one of them is? How to build an automated marketing and sales funnel. Everything that I just covered now, there's a course in there, me explaining everything like I've just explained to you on audio, but sharing this on video. But then, step number one, how do you build a landing page? In there, there's a video showing you where to find that part inside LeadZilla and how to build a landing page. Step number two, how to build a vetting form. So we then share, this is where the vetting forms are, this is how you build one. Step number three, where you find the calendars, how you set your calendar up, and how you connect it to the back end of your vetting form. Step number four, how do you create a thank you page and add a video perhaps to that thank you page? Step number five, how to build an opportunities pipeline. We show you step by step. Click this, title this, move that to here, then go and do this. We show you how to do it. And then in step number six, the automations. How do you write your emails? Where do you write your emails? How do you get them to trigger behind each stage of that pipeline? All that lot is already pre-recorded and in waiting to go live the back end of this week. And then if that's not enough, what LeadZilla and their tech team are doing is every single week, there's going to be a live, done with you training session on Zoom. And following that, 2 days later, there's going to be a live Q&A on Zoom. And guess what? The first 6-week program live, done with you is everything I'm just sharing inside this episode and everything I've just shared with you in the pre-recorded content. If you don't want to do the pre-recorded and you want to do this at the same time as their tech team live on Zoom in a small group, LeadZilla are even bringing that as well. Are you with me? Followed by a live Q&A a couple of days later. Now you might say, Craig, this is amazing and I want to do the live one, but I can't do it because I'll be on tools or it might not suit your timing. You might have got kids or whatever. That's all right. Those live training sessions are recorded and then added into LeadZilla's school community in the recording section. So it's as though you can play that recording and it's as though you are there with them, walking through it step by step, done with you. How powerful is that? I don't know any other software from Xero to QuickBooks, from Zapier to Tradify or Commusoft that offers that level of hand-holding to make sure that their users or subscribers get the system up and running and working for them as quick as you can. Now, the only way you can get access to that new LeadZilla school platform is by either one, being in your 14-day free trial, or number two, you've already got the paid subscription and you're out of your free trial and you're actively paying for it and using it now, you are going to get instant free access to this platform. You cannot join the platform if you haven't got a 14-day free trial or you've got a paid subscription. It is only for LeadZilla users only who have got a paid subscription. So if you want to start your 14-day free trial, click the link in the show notes and the description of this episode, start your free trial, and then come and have a look at what LeadZilla's built for you and go and get stuck into it. They've made it absolutely easy at every single stage for you to get the knowledge and the training on what you're going to need to get LeadZilla set up, making you more profit and saving you more time. Now, what I've just shared with you in this episode is just an absolute pinprick of what LeadZilla as a platform actually does for you as a business. Did you know there's over 100 different features, everything from marketing features and tools, to sales features and tools, to payment features and tools inside one piece of software? So let me just give you a few extra features that as a trades and construction business that you're going to probably be using on a regular basis. And this is, again, is just a pinprick. So inside LeadZilla, you can build your own websites, landing pages, and funnels. You can have your own web chat built into it, so you can embed a web chat onto your website. You can build AI bots and AI agents inside LeadZilla that can answer questions on WhatsApp or text message or emails to customers. You can even get LeadZilla answering your phone for you as though it's you talking to a customer and have an AI agent answering your phone. You can set all your Google ads and Facebook ads and all your reporting up inside LeadZilla. You can connect your Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, Google My Business, YouTube accounts and use their social media scheduling tool to schedule all your posts to go out at certain times and dates. You can track all your phone calls. You can record your phone calls. On top of all that, you can use a CRM system, like use it as a contact database And then from a payments point of view, LeadZilla can deal with all your payments, whether you're using Stripe, Go Cardless, Klarna, PayPal, doing all your invoicing through QuickBooks and Xero, etc. All that lot can be pulled in. You can create quotes in there. You can get people to electronically sign your proposals, quotes and estimates and terms and conditions. The list just goes on and on and on. Now, if you think about what I've just shared with you then, I might have just rattled 20 different things off. Usually, each one of them would be a subscription and an investment cost and a new login and a new platform that you've got to learn 20 different ones. LeadZilla, it's one subscription, one login that gets you access to over all these 100 different tools. It is the ultimate marketing, sales and AI tool that any trades or construction business owner can use in their business. So this podcast episode will have given you a really good introduction to building automated marketing and sales funnels in your business. You've now got LeadZilla on a 14-day free trial linked up in the description. And on top of that, you've got LeadZilla's new school community launching this week that's going to give you all the help, support and the live training, pre-recorded training that you're ever going to need. All you need to do now is take massive action by implementing what you've learned in this episode. And finally, I just want to give you a couple of extra podcast episodes that will help you with what I've shared in this particular episode. The first one I want you to go and check out is episode number 36. Because in episode 36, I go into a lot more detail about how to build and structure a vetting form in terms of the questions that you need to be asking in the vetting form itself and how you get round asking that budget question. Because there's so many people that have said to me, Craig, that'll never work. That doesn't work. It might work for other trades, but it won't work for me. Every time I've asked a customer for the budget, they've never told me. They think I'm trying to rip them off or increase my prices to suit their budget. Listen, that's because you've not been asking the budget question correctly, right? There's a certain way in which we ask that question, and by giving them a multiple choice selection of what they can choose for their budget, rather than just leaving them a blank box for them to fill in, I guarantee that they'll always give you the budget if you've asked it in the right manner. So episode 36 goes through the strategy of how to come up with the right questions for your particular vetting form for you and your trade and your business. The second one that I'm going to ask you to go and listen to is one that's a little bit more familiar, a little bit more newer, let's say, which is episode 97. Because what I'm talking about in this episode ties into episode 97, which is how to win more jobs and grow your trades business using landing pages and vetting forms. Are you with me? So they all tie into this episode. So go and check out those two episodes once you finish this one. And I'd love to hear your thoughts and what action you're now going to take from this episode. So I'd encourage you to come into either our Free Trades Freedom Club Facebook group and community, or if you're a member of our Growth Club, or if you're a member of the new LeadZilla school community, come into either one of them and tell me that you've listened to episode number 102 and tell us what you're going to do now. Hold yourself accountable. There's no point in just listening to these episodes every week if you're not going to get off your backside and implement what you're learning. So come into any of them groups. The links for them are in the show notes below, and come and tell me you've listened to episode 102 and what actions are you now going to take. And remember, for things to change, you have to change, or all you'll ever have in your pocket is change. I'll catch up with you on next week's episode, and I'll meet you at the top. Thank you.